Okay, here's some help with Wednesday night's homework. Unit 6, Lesson 3. Problem 3 says a quadrilateral has coordinates, the coordinates that are given. If the quadrilateral is reflected over the x-axis, what will be the coordinates of the vertices of the new quadrilateral? Well, if you forget, you can look at the first page of that homework. Pretty much the whole first page is notes and examples. But if a figure is reflected over the x-axis, then the x coordinates stay the same and the y coordinates change to their opposites. So, for example, the reflected A prime would be at 2, positive 3. B prime would be at 6, negative 1. C prime would now be at 3, negative 3. And D prime would be at negative 2, positive 1. And if you ever forget, you can just sketch a real quick x-y axis, put a rectangle in the first quadrant, and then imagine if you flipped that rectangle or reflected it over the x-axis. Think about how its coordinates would or would not change. For example, this vertex would have some x coordinate and some y coordinate, but its reflection would have the same x coordinate. The x coordinate would not change. The y coordinate, however, would change to its opposite for the reflection. So you can do a quick sketch and just remind yourself those rules. You don't have to have them memorized. Okay, also going to do problem 4. A triangle has coordinates A is at 12, 8, B is at negative 6, 3, and C is at 3, negative 5. If the triangle is reflected over the y-axis, what will be the coordinates of the vertices of the new triangle? So if we're reflecting over the y-axis now, it'll be the y-coordinates that don't change, and the x-coordinates will change to their opposites. So the reflected vertex A prime would be at negative 12, 8. B prime would be at 6, 3. Instead of negative 6, 3. C prime would be at negative 3, negative 5. And if we look at that, just to convince ourselves we're doing this right, if we use the same quick check we did with the on the other problem, if we had a rectangle in the first quadrant and it was reflected across the y-axis and you considered a vertex, its x-coordinate now would go from positive to negative, while its y-coordinate would remain unchanged for the reflection across the y-axis. So you can always do a quick sketch just to check yourself. You know, one of the coordinates will stay the same and the other coordinate will change to its opposite depending on which axis you're reflecting across. Okay, hope that helps. See you in the morning.